Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm gonna do a video on some vintage Christmas ornaments and Christmas things. Just because I don't think anyone's done one, and I just so happen to have inherited. No, I'm not a Goodwill estate sale searcher kind of person. Don't get me wrong, I've gone to Goodwill, I've gone to estate sales, but I'm just spraying some alcohol in here because I don't like to put stuff on an unclean mat. But anyways, what I was getting at. So my family is from Germany, and that's one side of things. And Christmas is a big deal in Germany. So I have a lot of. I open up a tin, and there's more stuff in the basement. It's like never-ending death pile. But I do resell on eBay, and I was kind of regretting this, but it's like, you know what? This is the season, right? It's November 3rd or 4th, whatever the date is today. And this is the time if you're going to start listing some Christmas stuff to get it out there. So I really had no intentions of thinking I was going to make big money on this stuff, but wanted to just, show each item what was inside of a tin. Even the tin itself, I'll show that later if it even fits in here. But anyway, so I had like this popcorn tin. It's from Naperville. The company's like long gone, and I'm 46, and my mother's like in her late 60s, and her mom passed away, or my grandma passed away in their mid 80s. So there's a lot of the stuff I'm going to show is probably from my childhood or even like when I was a baby. And I didn't really think there's any value to something like this. So this was from 1989. Again, made in China, but this probably was like something you'd see at Hallmark or something. And I don't really know much about this stuff. All I know though is I have photographed every single one of them. I've looked them up. I've definitely taken advantage of Google Lens to see what else is out there. But what I will tell you is like all this stuff that I do have, because it's been sitting in this tin for probably over 20 years. So I haven't been using this stuff as Christmas decorations. First of all, our kids are all adults now. There's really no kids in the house. So like we don't go all out and deck the halls. You know what I mean? Like it, I put it this way, like I have enough Christmas decorations because of what I've inherited. Not intentionally either. It's just kind of like, hey, help us move in. Oh, do you want that bin full of stuff? You can go ahead and have it. So hopefully this video helps you guys, but I'm going to go through each one, some of the research that I did. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible, but if you have something like this or you find something like this at a thrift store, estate sale, someone's collection, storage auction, whatever, this is probably like the nicer stuff. Like we don't have any like this is made in China, but they don't make this in China like this anymore. So something like this is probably around $15-20. I'm gonna ask on the cheap, even though like the condition of my stuff is really nice. So this is what the heck is this? Studio 56 or whatever it's called, Area 56. I forgot what it's called, but this is an old Carson Perry Scott price tag on it, and we're talking like this is from the 80's, right? So this was $2.75 back in the 80's. This is actually made out of paper mache and it's hand painted, but the condition on it is absolutely perfect. So it's funny, our adult daughter has a black and white cat. It doesn't look like this, so I showed it to her. I'm like, hey, Dad's gonna load some eBay stuff, and this guy, I looked it up, it's worth at least $18. I probably could get more because it's such nice condition, but my actual daughter wants it. So I'm going to give it to her, and she can have it as a Christmas decoration. But some of these things, like the Santa ornament, it's nothing crazy. Again, this is made in China, but again, it's from the 80's. Something like that is probably worth, whatever, $7. Snoopy is definitely popular, so there's quite a few of these type of Snoopies that I've seen. Some have 76, 78 on it, but something like this is about $10. Again, it's a real, it's not plastic. None of this stuff's fugazi. This is all like OG original from back in the day. But anyways, because of from where my mother is from, and my grandmother's from West Germany, and they immigrated here to Chicagoland. My grandma was at the time like in her 40s, and my mom was whatever in sixth grade. So there's always a German fest. Well, I shouldn't say German fest, but it's right by downtown Chicago where, there's a bunch of German stuff that opens up. So there are like actual resellers that sell and import this stuff. They import handmade German ornaments from back in the day. So again, it's like seriously, someone carved this, painted it. Even like this little piece fell off, but like that's a lot of this handmade, right? So I would call this, like, if it's here in the United States, I call this kind of like folky type of stuff. But so like nobody has one with a hanging ladder. So, is someone going to pay $20? Probably, but I'll probably be asking just like 10 just to like have someone else enjoy it. So like this stuff here does not have any sentimental value to me whatsoever. First of all, I'm a dude, so like someone my age is something that's more sentimental would probably be like his very first video game or something like that. Not a Christmas ornaments. So put it this way, like selling this stuff and doing research does not make me sad. It actually makes me sad that I didn't do this many, many years ago. But here's a cool little Hallmark Santa just chilling. And some of these things are hide and see, so it's Hallmark, and then, well, you guys can't see the date, but I can see the date. This is, maybe I can't see the date. Hold on. It's really tough. Oh, there it is. See it? Do you see it? It's right there in the corner. It's right here. Let me see if I can focus in on it. There it is. 1987, right? So what a weird place to put a date. So this little dude, like, you plug him in through your lights, which, believe it or not, still uses the same technology. And he's got some backup lights too. So I think like all these lights light up. I'm not going to test it. Like, I don't care. You can replace the bulbs. But I'll sell something like that for $10. Here's just a random old school Minnie Mouse, straight up old Disneyana or whatever. And all this stuff is made in China, but like, I'm surprised like even something like this survived. Like, it's all fuzzy and stuff. Like, usually these things are missing limbs by the time you get them. So again, the condition of this stuff too is, I think, what kind of makes it a little more valuable. But a lot of this stuff's like random. But I remember as a kid going to these stores, and my mom would look at all the ornaments and all the different things, handmade, carved stuff. I thought it was absolutely boring because as a little kid, like, you could see this stuff on the tree, but you were told not to play with it because mom probably paid some bucks for it. But she was pretty smart about it. Like, she would buy this stuff, and it was most likely the day after Christmas when they put a sale on everything. But like, there used to be even an all-year Christmas store, not F&M or whatever it was called around here, where like all the pool companies turn into Christmas tree stores, fake Christmas tree stores. But there was actually like an all-year Christmas store in Long Grove, Illinois. It was like an old school downtown area. And I always liked going to that store as a kid because you literally go in there and like everything's Christmas, and they were selling it all year round. And then like below that was like the chocolate, homemade chocolate place, and then there's like an apple cider place there. But like that stuff over there doesn't exist anymore. Like, all those generations have died. But like, look at this stuff. So like, look at this tree. Like, they don't do stuff like that anymore in such detail. And again, someone like hand painted this. In Germany, not in China. So like, I'm selling this whole bag probably for like $15. Again, I'm not, this is not the museum of Shai Sharon. This is, I would rather someone else enjoy this. So this is a little, I guess they used to call them Cupid dolls, but it is in the German motif. Trying to sound a little fancy, but that's, I guess, how German girls or ladies used to dress back in the day. So again, details. Like, they don't make stuff like this anymore. And this was all handmade. So it's probably like some kind of basic doll, and then the dresses, the clothing, the little felt hats. Seriously, like someone handcrafted that and put that together. What is something like that worth nowadays? $15. Again, it's like you also have to figure in the generation that actually cares about this stuff. And unfortunately, that generation is, slowly going away. But there are a lot of people that are into art or into vintage Christmas that just like love stuff like that. I actually think this clock is cool. Look at this. Made in 1979. Volkunst. What does this say? Aus Hohenheimlen, made in Germany. So it's not like super old where it says West Germany and East Germany. But look at this. It actually it operates. And guys and gals, this is wood. All of this is wood. The only thing that's metal are like these things and probably like the gear. But you could literally set the clock. So I think that's cool. And no, the alarm doesn't work. But something like this is actually worth $20. And again, its condition is everything. This has super vibrant colors. It wasn't sitting in a store getting bleached out by the sun. So that'll be listed in my eBay store. Oh, here's another thing too. I remember seeing these as a kid, and I never really understood them, like why they were such a big deal. And there's like more fancier ones than this, but this is like a legit like old one from 78. So it says mom and dad on it. So this little dude was like handcrafted, but then like check out the tree. So I don't know if this is balsa wood, but someone actually took this tree, shaved it down, and did one little branch at a time. And it's kind of tough, right? So it's lasted all these years. Pretty amazing stuff. And then this is like real wood, and someone actually went in and hand painted this. So they do remake these now, and they charge like, $10, but like this is like one of the old school ones. And my mom still has I don't know how this one slipped through the cracks. She has a ton. I gave her like a whole box because like I'm not doing anything with it, but they're all hand carved German ornaments, and like there's a lot of craftsmanship that went into it. I'm like, I don't want it. Like it's gonna get ruined. My kids will blow it up. Now my kids are adults. Here's something like this is as basic as that looks, but because it's handcrafted, easily $10, $15 on eBay all day long. So here's like some other like things that, again, this is not plastic. These are actually made out of paper mache and wood, some type of material. Again, these guys, it's interesting. They look like the old Playmobil characters, like before Lego was invented. And you can tell like that's where they used to put a stick on it to let the paint dry, and they slapped the paint on these. So these again were Christmas ornaments, not made in China. They were made in Germany, but they're making them fast. So it's not like this is handcrafted Cartier or Gucci or something like that, but it is cool to find something like that. So again, I'll sell this set for like $10-15. Here's something that has nothing to do with Christmas. It's just a character from Hallmark. So my mom was also big into like literally going to Hallmark when they would retire something. So they'd come out with the stuff. All the ladies, the moms would go there. They'd drag us in the store, and when we were very little, it was cool. But when you're like 8, 9, 10 years old, you didn't want to go in the Hallmark store with your mom because like she'd be lost in there for hours looking at all this like little stuff. Whereas like, as an 8, 9-year-old boy, I wanted to go to the video game store or the record store, any store that had toys, not collectible things that you can't touch. So again, when you're really little, it's cool. But when you're an older child, you don't want to be in that store. But now it's like I do appreciate, as an older person now, it's like I do appreciate the craftsmanship. It is pretty cool. But again, is this stuff super valuable? No, not really. Like this is really nice condition and someone will probably buy it for 10 bucks. Why? Because of the condition of it or they just like how it looks. So again, you're probably not going to find this at Goodwill because if you do, someone has thrown it in the bag, not cared about it, probably got, cat hair or dust all over it, probably was not stored in a popcorn tin for over 25 years. And I will put that in my description too. Like I'm going to, I didn't buy this from a bin and clean it up. Like this is how these were and they're as close to how they used to look originally. Again, this is a classic Hallmark ornament, and she liked these little squirrels. There's this little thing of nuts in the squirrel, and again, this would hang on a hook. So I already took the picture with it hanging, and then it kind of like dangles on the Christmas tree. So squirrel's taking a nap, dreaming about his acorn there, and again, you can always see the mint mark. When I say mint mark, I'm so used to selling coins. The Hallmark is right here, 1987. So again, something pretty legit. Again, I was 11 years old when this came out. That means she went to the store after I got my Super Nintendo machine and my Super Mario or whatever, maybe at that time. No, I got that when I was 10. So at 11, I probably got a bunch of video games and I was just playing that all night. But mom would go straight to Hallmark the next day for the after Christmas sale. So something like this in the store was probably originally 20 bucks. Maybe not that expensive, but maybe they're pretty expensive retail and they would have like a 75% off sale. She would go in there, grab the stuff for like $5. I did sell a lot of brand new Hallmark stuff that was still boxed, but I sold that like 15 years ago because it was ridiculous, the hoard of stuff that she grabbed. So again, this was stuff that actually was on our tree. Does it make me sad that I don't put it on a tree anymore? No, because literally, it's seriously, it's from my, not even like my childhood. Like again, I don't care. My kids don't even know about this. Like we have our own like ornaments for our family, but it's super cool vintage stuff, and no one really has stuff that's nice anymore. So someone will appreciate it. There was also this random panda. And at first I was like, oh, cool, it's a Steiff, but it's not. So little Steiffs have, they're made in Germany and it's myth mohair. They'll have like a little button in their ear. So this is not one of those. And who the heck makes this? This is a Dankin. It is made in China. So the little tag is here. It is made in China. I believe it was 1979. Hold on. I already looked this up. Yeah, there it is. So right here it says 1979, and this was the company out of San Francisco. And it's 100% wool. Like they don't make toys like this anymore. And again, this probably wasn't a toy. This is probably something like at a Hallmark or what did they have back then? What was the other? It wasn't linens and things. It was some other World's Fair. I forgot the name of the store. Again, it was one of those stores as a kid. Like I didn't want to go in there because it's boring. But someone will enjoy this. Like, and it's kind of weird, right? Because pandas are from China, but I guess we thought they were cute here. And even like the hanging rope is fancy. See that? Like, look at that. Like, they don't make rope like that either. They wouldn't do that. So, something like this is probably worth 20 bucks. I'll probably sell it for 15. Again, the stuff's nice. Then there was like weirdo stuff like this in here. So as a very small child, like I thought this was a cookie, right? Because like your mom would make like butter cookies and decorate them. So I think we had a bunch of these, and I even think my 10-year younger brother probably like tried to eat one of these. Because like when you're 3, you just want to like eat the cookie, so you think this is cookie, but it's not. So it's some sort of pottery. Again, it's all handmade. The only hallmark on it is Ecuador, which is right there, and it's just like weird. It's like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like skin, like animal stuff, but it's not. Like it's not a cookie Maybe it's like a laminate, I don't know, enameled. So an enameled cookie material. Again, guys, I'm not into crafts, but this is definitely made like with some sort of sugar, because look, it's like cracked here. And this feels like food. So there are no comps on this. It's just some cat with a skirt. It's in like a Hispanic motif. So maybe someone from Ecuador or Mexico, like this is something cool. But again, like I don't know what this has to do with Christmas, but it does have a little hanger to hang on the tree. So I don't know. I'll probably ask $10 for this, and it is handmade and it's cool. Someone will like it. Someone will enjoy it. But me personally, I think it's creepy. And then you have like these random dolls. Like, again, this is like back from the late 70's, 80's. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't hand make this, but somebody did. And again, it's like the hair. Someone made the little outfit, the stitching. And again, it is an ornament, right? So it just kind of hangs in your tree. But I guess that you would call that like folk art. I don't know. Again, I don't appreciate this stuff. I would rather share it with others. So I hope you guys understand that. And then here is the giant tin that all this stuff was in. So this was all stored, and it's a Christmas tin. So obviously it's like something that this company sold their popcorn, but like this company here in Naperville no longer exists. Copper Popper Inc. out of Naperville, Illinois, 30 ounces. What is hybrid mushroom? Okay, cheese corn I get. Baking soda on their popcorn. Is that safe? Oh, that's caramel corn. My bad. That's okay. So caramel or caramel corn, those are those little, they look like corn, but they're not. They're like pure sugar. So they would put that with cheese corn. But what is hybrid mushroom? Hybrid mushroom dry popcorn. What does hybrid mushroom mean? I've never seen that as an ingredient. And you can tell this is like really old because there's no nutritional facts on it. So there's not even an address on here. But, like it would be completely illegal to buy a food item nowadays without actual nutritional value, like how many calories and all that stuff. So anyways, all this stuff was in that tin. I'm obviously keeping the tin to store like other stuff, but that's what all this stuff was in. And I just found it randomly in my basement. So, and then I like this guy. I think he's cool. I'm keeping him. And obviously we're keeping the Area 56. Man, I'm probably saying that wrong. I know they do like Halloween decorations too. So that's going to our oldest daughter. This guy I'm keeping. He's going to be chilling with me this holiday. But the rest of the stuff will be listed in my eBay store. So you can check that out in the description if you want any stuff. Again, this is like super unique stuff. You're not going to find it. I'm not going to Goodwill and grabbing it. It's dusty and gross. Like it seriously has been in this tin in a time capsule. So someone else can enjoy this, add this to their collection, their tree. If they want to start a vintage German type theme tree, or they just like really nice handmade stuff on their trees. Some people really get into Christmas. So I appreciate the opportunity to share this with other collectors that can actually appreciate this kind of stuff. Because other than that, it's seriously, if I didn't do this and take the time to take photos and do research, it would be back in that bin. And then my kids would probably have to deal with it later on. And it would probably still be worth about the same. Maybe less, because the generation that wants to, is into this stuff, that appreciates it, they're getting older and older. But I still appreciate it. I see, the nostalgia behind it. The coolest part is the history and the handcrafting of these items. They just don't do that anymore. So appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and check out these items. Hopefully they're available. And I promise I'll ship them safely, and you guys can enjoy it. If not, maybe you learned something from this video. If you find this out in the wild, hopefully that helps you out as well. So again, appreciate it, guys. Talk to you later.